sons and daughters.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Aurora Smedley podcast, where I speak with you about what the world needs to hear. And in today's episode, I'm going to be discussing why I don't make New Year's resolutions. So, coming out of the holidays, I know that we are all ready to take on the new year. And so I'm going to be chatting about life change and how we can go about making these life changes at any time. I had a number of people ask me this year whether I am making New Year's resolutions, and I realized that I actually no longer really believe in New Year's resolutions. It doesn't really resonate with me anymore for some reason. And I reflected on this, and this is what I'm going to be chatting about today. In the past, I used to feel this pressure around the new year of I've got to make the new life happen now. And I've got to fix my whole life, and I've got to be perfect now that it's a new year. Now that it's a new year, I felt a pressure around trying to make everything perfect once the new year had arrived. But now I have a lot less weight around the new year. I have a lot less pressure around the new year. And I think that this has come about because I've realized that you can make the new life happen at any time. You can make the new life happen any moment, any time of the year, any part of the year. You can decide to make that change in your life. You can choose to do that glow up at any time. You can do it in October. You can do it in January. You can do it in July. And so now I have felt that rather than trying to make a New Year's resolution only once a year, what is my New Year's resolution for every month? What is my New Year's resolution for every week? What is the way that I want to change my life in every single moment with every action that I take? Because I think sometimes we disregard the fact that we actually have the opportunity to change our life in every moment. You can change your life now. And every single moment is the end of your previous life and the beginning of the rest of your life. In every single moment in the present is where all change happens, because it is only you now that you have control over. I think something that we overlook as a society is that basically every single culture has a different idea of when the new year is. For the Western world, New Year's Day happens on January 1st. For a lot of Asia, for China, for instance, New Year's Day happens in January, late January or early February, typically. The Persian New Year is around the spring equinox. The Jewish New Year happens around the autumnal equinox in September. And the Wiccan New Year happens on Halloween, which is October 31st. So, as you can see, the idea of when the new year actually starts is basically arbitrary. So, the new year is happening all the time. Every single moment, you have the potential to decide that this is your new year. This is your new time. This is your new day. And so with every moment, you have the opportunity to choose what is the new you, what is the next you that you have. And because of this actually takes some of the pressure off of January, takes some of the pressure off of this January New Year, because you can spread out your New Year's resolution over the whole year. I can make my New Year's resolution in January. I can make a New Year's resolution in February. I can make a New Year's resolution in March. I can continue to evolve myself over time as I see fit. The next thing that I want to point out is that typically New Year's resolutions are based off of external criteria, Like, I am going to lose weight this year, for example. I'm going to make this amount of money this year, right? So we are judging our success based off of external factors, off of what the universe gives us, off of what we are receiving from the universe, the results that we are getting. And while it is important to keep our eye on the results, the problem is that we don't actually have direct control over any result. All we have control over is what we are doing in the present moment. We have control over our inputs, but not the outputs. Yes, if you max out your inputs, chances are you will usually get the output, but sometimes you don't. And so we have to recognize that even if we put in all the inputs correctly, we have to recognize that our success is based off of what we do, how we show up, rather than what the end result is. Do we find the love of our life? Maybe yes, maybe no. But we have to be happy regardless of whether we find them or not. Are we going to lose 20 pounds? Maybe yes, maybe no. But rather than focusing on the 20 pounds, focus on showing up for yourself by going to the gym, showing up for yourself by going for walks, showing up for yourself by choosing to take care of your body, by choosing to love your body through your actions. Because it's through our actions, more so even than our words, that the universe will pick up on what we actually stand for, who we actually are, and what we actually want to become. It is through these actions that we shape our future life and who we are. This is another point that I'd like to underscore here as well, is that because we focus on this end result, because we are focusing on what externally we're going to receive, we actually lose sight of the thing that's really important as we pursue all of what we desire. And that's that everything that we want is not really about the thing. Everything that we want is really about who we are becoming in the process. We want to be the person that naturally has the thing. We want to be the person that embodies the thing, whether it's wealth, whether it's health, whether it's happiness, whether it's having a wealth of relationships. All of this has to do with who we are becoming, who we are, more so than this external end result. When you focus on the internal result, i.e., becoming that which you want to become, this is something that you have full control over. Whereas, once again, these external results are fleeting. They can be anything. They are not within your direct control. I just realized that it's raining outside, so you're going to get some of that nice, relaxing sound in this podcast. The next thing that I want to underscore is that much of the time we underrate the fact that putting in the work demonstrates that we love something. Putting in the work demonstrates that we are committed to it and that we love it beyond our day-to-day whims, beyond whether we feel like it or not, beyond whether we are tired, whether we feel good, whether we are in the mood, whether we're inspired. This goes for things like going to the gym. This goes for things like showing up for your musical practice, in my case, showing up for your art, showing up for your work, showing up for your family. Putting in the work demonstrates to yourself and to the universe that you truly love that thing. I feel that love is expressed not just by words. Love is expressed not just when you feel good about it, but love is expressed honestly more in the case where you don't feel like it. You don't want to show up. You aren't in the mood. You aren't inspired. You aren't motivated. And yet you show up anyway. By choosing to show up regardless of the situation, by choosing to show up regardless of what you're going through, you are physically and spiritually committing to that thing and causing that thing to become more powerful in the world, causing your love to be more powerful in the world, causing your light and the essence of your being to be more powerful in the world. So when you are deciding to go to the gym, when you are deciding to commit to your work, when you're deciding to educate yourself, what this really is about is loving the work enough to show up when you don't want to show up when it doesn't feel good, to show up when you don't feel brave, when you are afraid, when every single thing is getting in your way, you still show up. And I feel that this is the essence of commitment. This is the essence of physically demonstrating your love to the world. Another point about all of this as well is that so much of the time we are coming about New Year's resolutions because of some part of ourself that we do not actually love. We're coming at New Year's resolutions from a place of deficiency, from feeling that we are lacking, from feeling that we are not whole, from feeling that some part of ourself is deficient. So we are actually coming at New Year's resolutions from a place of guilt and shame rather than from the desire to expand our being and to expand our light in the world. So because we are coming from this place of guilt and shame, this is actually means that the actions that we are taking are actually self-destructive. We don't love ourselves, and so we are not coming from a place of love when we go to work out. We are actually working out, for example, because we hate ourselves. We hate who and what we are already, and we are denying the current existence of what our body currently looks like. And so because of that, we are not actually going to the gym from a place of love. And this can be destructive to ourselves ultimately, because we might injure ourselves, or we might diet too much or restrict our eating too much because we don't love ourselves. And so this can actually negatively impact the results of our work, is simply coming from this place of guilt and shame around our quote unquote New Year's resolutions, around whatever change that we'd like to make. And this can negatively impact our beingness. And finally, I want to discuss when we mess up, because we aren't always perfect. And there is not always going to be a time where we're always going to get it right. And because of this, we need to be able to forgive ourselves, because sometimes we mess up. Sometimes we go and we don't go to the gym. Sometimes we let our laziness get in the way. Sometimes we screw something up, or we eat the junk food. We go and we have In-N-Out, and rather than putting all of this shame, putting all of this meaning around it, recognize that basically we are still showing up, and enjoy the process of messing up. Enjoy the process of not always getting it right, because we are not here trying to be perfect. We are here living our best life and working on expanding our light in the world. And part of that process is not always getting it right. So in the process of making whatever changes at whatever time of the year, understand that anytime when we don't get it right, we are still getting it right. Anytime that we are messing up, the challenge, the darkness, the resistance, whatever is getting in our way, that's part of the work that that sometimes us messing up is necessary for us to forgive ourselves and move forward. That in the times that we mess up, the spiritual work in that moment is to forgive ourselves, to love ourselves through it, to love the mistake, to love the fact that we screwed up. So with that, I thank you for your time spent with me, and I'm excited to see whatever transformations you decide to make in this coming year and in every single new year at every time. So I will leave you to next week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next podcast.